Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel, and today I want to talk about a faction within a faction within a faction. It's kind of a weird thing, to be honest with you, because it's a very, very small part of a faction, but they're kind of their own thing within that faction, and they're not shown anywhere else in 40k. However, their roots and their starting actually happens in the Horus Heresy. And I love it when GW does stuff like this. I honestly do. I think seeing ties between the Horus Heresy story and the 40k story, not just the Astartes, but like characters showing up in later 40k books, always really enjoy. I find that really enjoyable. I think it's great. We're not just talking like main characters like Araman either, or the Primarchs. We're talking about smaller characters who don't even have models. And I think that's really, really cool. I think that's fantastic seeing that, how they tie in together. And also, I get to talk about, I should say, one of my favourite chapters. They're kind of a chapter, but they don't follow the Codex Astartes. They're kind of their own thing as well at the same time. It's weird, it's the Death Watch. And of course, because I mentioned Horus Heresy, you can guess it's the Black Shields. Now, the Black Shields to me are an interesting part of the lore as a whole, because their creation, their original creation, was that when the Horus Heresy really started, many legionnaires forsook their legion to join Black Shields, and it wasn't just one side either; it was both sides that did this. You would have loyalists join Black Shields on Horus's side, and you would have traitors joining Black Shields on the Emperor's side, and I think that's kind of cool. And they would forsake their legion. They wouldn't wear their legion colours or their emblems. They would all wear pure black armour, and it's really interesting. And in the Horus Heresy, you have the Shattered Legions as well, but unlike the Shattered Legions, the Black Shields were very unified. They were a fighting force which would work as a whole, as a team, like any other company within a legion, and that's really cool. Like I said, that's really cool. Because you would have things like World Eaters fighting alongside Blood Angels and Death Guard and Iron Fit Hands. It's such an interesting thing to see this sort of cooperation between people who would have been fighting against each other and now have to use their talents to fight with each other. For each other. You know what I mean. Basically, they were fighting as brothers at this point. And again, and this is one of the most interesting parts of this, which in my opinion anyway, is that, well, the legions were good at everything. Individual legions excelled at certain things. Iron Warriors excelled at siegecraft. Our Imperial Fists were counter siege. And this is one of the things I do love about Horus Heresy and 4K. You can find these mirrorings within armies where you would find almost the exact opposite in the other army. I think that's fantastic. And as I said, the fact that this has gone on to 40k and we've seen it grow into, seeing this entire thing show up again is really cool. And like I said, big unified army. So, I think at one point they almost had a couple of companies of Black Shields, which I just like that. I think it's an interesting aspect of the Horus Heresy because it shows that people can be unified under a banner that they wouldn't be unified under. A traitor Blood Angel example was traitor White Scars. Cool. I think that's cool. And of course, I'm not going to say about Malgador's Inquisition people, such as Janus and etc. We're talking about the Black Shields here as well. We're just talking about Black Shields. And I just like that. I really do. And forsaking your legion is a massive step for them. Now, if we jump over to 40k, they are still about, but they're kind of different now. See, like I said, in Horus Heresy, they were a unified force. There was a big army. Now they're singular individuals within the Death Watch. And one of the most common reasons that people will state, though it's not actually the most common reason for them, is because their entire chapter died. And they're lost survivors, it's survivor's guilt. But usually it's because they don't like the way their chapter went and they just said they went their own way. And I think that's far more interesting because it shows individuality within the Astartes. It shows that no matter how much they were brainwashed, and if you read The Devastation of Bao, you'll know how much they are brainwashed, but they are so, their loyalty is to the Emperor and the Blood Angels. You cannot break that brainwashing. But these Black Shields have broken that brainwashing. So they managed to even break their programming to leave their chapter. Or maybe, and this is one of the reasons that I was given, but it's not that they left their chapter's goals, that they're still loyal to the chapter. It's that the rest of the chapter left their goals and is no longer the chapter, even though they keep the name, sort of thing. But unlike Horus Heresy, see, when Black Shield in Horus Heresy, yes, he forsook his legion, he wouldn't keep what legion he was part of secret. It was quite an open, it was knowledge. This is why I said you'd have Blood Angels fighting alongside World Eaters, and they would know that they were fighting alongside each other. The World Eater would know that was a Blood Angel, and the Blood Angel would know that was a World Eater. However, within the 40k universe, asking a Black Shield what chapter they were part of is forbidden, and the Black Shield telling anyone what chapter they were part of is also forbidden. And well, apparently it does happen, but I can't find it in the law. They say they are traitors. They tend not to be, because they do get their gene seed checked, obviously, for warp taint and anything else, which is also kind of cool. And the final bit, which I like, is this is something, again, I can't really actually state, but it's kind of hinted at, that they are the only Astartes which are basically buried or cremated with their gene seed. Their gene seed does not get removed in combat if they were to fall. And unlike Black Shields and Horus Heresy again, who are a unified force, these are more on a, they are there to fight for their oaths again, they're there to fight for honour, and they are there, and they basically are there to fight to die. That is their end game. They will take the high risk missions, they will join kill teams that they think that will have a very low chance of survival, and that's their goal. They want to redeem their chapter's honour if they left their chapter for that reason, or their chapter died, and to redeem their honour at the same time. See, when a Black Shield leaves their chapter because they think the chapter's gone wrong, part of it isn't just their redemption, it's what they believe they are redeeming their own chapter for. It probably doesn't have any real effect or knock-on effect, really. However, that is what they believe, and I think that's kind of cool. Like I said, it shows individuality. I think that's fascinating. I really do. And that's basically it. I think I do like the Black Shields, and I like their lore, and I think what I would really like to see now, because I always kind of end my videos this way, is what happened to the Black Shields post-Heresy, but pre-War of the Beasts. Now, if you read the War of the Beasts series, you will know that that's where the Death Watch started. But the Black Legion, again, Black Shields were still about. Did they sort of go extinct and the Death Watch basically bring them back? Or were they still going and then they found what the Death Watch were doing and kind of went, right, we don't want to be part of our chapter stroke Legion anymore. We are traitors. Can we be part of you? We want to join you and your crusade against the Xenos. Again, it's really interesting stuff, and I would love to see what happens there. It's scouring. What happened to the Black Shields during the scouring? Kind of cool. I really do. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologise for the doors banging and my voice. I've got a bit of a cold coming. I apologise. And I hope to see you all again soon in the next one. Links to Wayland Games down below. I might do the older preview today. Depends what it's all about. And if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And there's also Forbidden Planet. Wayland Games for 20%, up to 20% off, and free delivery after £20. When Forbidden Planet, if you like, comics, DVDs, movies, stuff like that, all the cool stuff. My comic as well. And finally, there is my merchandise. And I'll see you all in the next one. You all have a great day. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. As always, I love reading them and interacting with you guys. I think it's great. Have a great one, and goodbye.